Hi, welcome to my Databricks POC. In this, we are going to see a use case that I implemented in using Databricks. So, I have created a free tier account with Databricks. I have hosted this Databricks account on a free tier AWS account, my AWS account. Um, so, this is my free tier AWS account. For my personal use. So I hosted a free tier um, Databricks on this particular AWS account. So I have created a workspace. You can see this. So I have created a workspace on U Central. Um, I'm going to open this workspace. So what do you mean by creating a Databricks on AWS? Is like the compute power and the storage will be provided by my AWS, and my Databricks tool will work on top of this compute and the storage. So um, um, before that, before jumping into the actual implementation, I wanted to show you the use case, what I'm going to demonstrate today. So I have taken a use case uh, for say imagine a pharma company which is conducting a clinical trial, phase 3 clinical trial for a new drug. So after conducting the trial, they are collecting the patient data. So in that they are seeing some adverse effects. So they are collecting this patient data as well as the adverse effects data separately. So with that scenario, we imagine that we have patient data as a separate CSV file and the adverse effect as a separate CSV file here. So I have uploaded these CSV files into the DPFS. I will show you. So now we are going to actually create a workflow or a job uh, which will basically have these tasks. So in the task one, we are going to load the patient data from the CSV file, and we'll do some basic cleaning and transformation. And in task two, we'll load the adverse effect data and we'll do the data cleaning and transformation. Then in task three, we'll join this data and perform some analysis. I will explain you the analysis while going through the task. And in task 4, we are going to do some visualization to make some sense out of this data. So this is what is precisely the use case and the implementation that we are going to do. So now I'll go to my DBFS to show you the Excel sheet. So browsing my DBFS, and these are the Excel sheets I have uploaded, CSV files I have uploaded. So these are going to be the source data. So this can be from any source. You can take it from an S3 bucket, or you can take it from any other source also. So I have kept for this POC, I have kept inside the Databricks itself. So let's go to the workflow now. So I've put a workflow called patient demographics and adverse event analysis. So here I have basically 4 tasks. Swimming a little bit. So these are the 4 tasks. So loading patient data, then loading the adverse effect data, and joining the data, and then the visualization. So I will run the workflow now, and during the run I will explain each tasks or each stages. So I'm going to click on run. So I'm going to view run. Basically now you can see there is a compute power called money custom job cluster. So this is basically it's going to spin up for me on demand. So the worker node will be created under the EC2 of our AWS account. So this is not free because the job clusters basically this job cluster starts with at least 16 MB of RAM with 4 cores. You can see here um, MD5 large. Yeah, so I only took one worker node, but still you have to supply at least 16 GB of RAM uh, with 2 cores, so which is not free in the free tier account. Unfortunately, you have to pay for it, and it's okay. I'm paying for just a small POC. It will not be much, but I'm just telling this for you to be aware of while using the AWS. So so because it's only 16 GB of RAM and 2 cores, it will take some time to spin up because it's only on demand. So let's wait for that. Okay, now my cluster is up and running. It took a while to come up. So now we'll go task by task in my workflow. So I'm going into the first task, which is loading patient data run. So yeah, so now this is the no code. Basically I'm referring a notebook inside this task. So I have used PySpark to basically load this Excel sheet and convert it into a data frame. And after converting it to data frame, I have done some data cleaning, and also if you see, like the patient data is having a field called age. So based on that age column, I am defining a age group um, column and categorizing the patients who is under 30 or whether they fall under 30 to 60 or 60 plus. Finally, when our execution finish, I can show you the results here. So now I think it has run. So this is the data frame. It's having patient ID, age, gender, some medical history, and our age category. So I'm writing this into a delta table inside um, Databricks to use this in the next upcoming tasks. Let's go to the run. Now let's go into the second task, which is the load adverse effect data. So here I'm loading the adverse effect data. So and I'm also handling some doing some cleaning and transformation here. The adverse effect data has some impact. For example, you can see here the event types. What are the side effects that has happened for each patient? So based on the event, I have categorized the types also uh, um, based on the each event type. So you can see here the event type, severity, and the occurred date, and whether it belongs to type 1, type 2, type 3. So this is basically, it will be useful in our future visualization of the data. So that is why I'm just creating this column, this in this data frame. So I'm also writing this data into another delta table for the future tasks. Let's go to the next one, which is joining these two data frames. So here basically I'm joining the data frames, and I'm performing some data transformations where I will calculate the frequency of different adverse effects. and then group the adverse effects by the severity level. Then I will also analyze the age of the I will compare the age of the patients with the side effects. So this is what I'm doing after joining. You can see like I'm reading this from the delta tables. Then I'm joining these data frames, and then I'm basically doing the analytics here as explained. So I'm displaying these results here. You can see. Um, so here you can see type 1 has of effects or events has occurred 2 times, type 2 2 times, type 3 2 times. This is the frequency, and according to the severity level, so uh, severe impact has occurred 2 times, mild 2, and moderate also 2 times. And according to the age group, comparing the age, the column which we created in the first task, so that is being used here. So how many times the event has occurred according to the age group, you can see from 30 to 60 it has occurred 2 times. So these are some of the simple analytics I have done here. So let's go back to the run, the final task. So now we have joined this data frame. So after joining this data frames, I'm writing this into another delta table. Now if you have a BI tool like Tableau, it can consume your delta table or a view that you have created and can produce the visualization and make some sense for the data. But since I'm not using the any kind of BI tool here in this POC, I have done some visualization on the notebook itself. So if you see here, I'm reading this from the delta table. Let me little zoom out so that you can. So here I'm preparing a bar chart based on the event types and the frequency. So type 1 has occurred 2 times, type 2 has occurred 2 times, type 3 has occurred 2 times. So this is the frequency of the adverse events. Then I'm also displaying a histogram we're comparing the frequency and the age of the patients actually. So you can see like the patients, when the patient's age is more than 35, the frequency of occurrence is more according to our data. So then I'm also displaying a scatter plot relating the patient's age with the severity level, whether it is mild, moderate, or severe. So 1 being the mild, and 2 being the moderate, and 3 being the severe one. You can see like when the patient's age is around 25, it is moderate, and when it is basically around 35, it is mild and moderate. When it is going to 40, it is again very mild, but when the age is going above 50, between 55 to 65, the adverse effects of the drug is severe. So that is what this particular visualization or data is showing here. So this is a basic visualization which makes sense for our scenario or our use case. But advanced visualization or data analytics can be done in the real cases. So where majorly we can use this kind of workflows, in our project itself, we might have many projects which will have some daily jobs that is running, right? Where we will be doing some kind of transformation during the job run. For example, we'll consume the data from a source system, we'll transform it to according to the destination system, and we will be writing back into the destination database. So in those kind of scenarios, this will be very, very helpful. I would say Databricks will be very, very helpful. Like they have an inbuilt, inbuilt workflow capabilities, compute capabilities, and you can basically you have the catalogs. You can pull the data. You can or you can only create the reference of the data, uh, and basically use that in your workflows. So this will basically reduce the data redundancy, duplicating the data multiple times in several systems. You can only create a reference in the catalog and use that data for the transformation, and then write that into the target system. So in these scenarios, these workflows are very helpful. You can also trigger these workflows in real time. It is not only like you have to use this as a cron job or a scheduled job. So these are some of the benefits I can mention, or I can mention, like you can use this in some of the use cases in our customer environment. There are other more features of Databricks also. Um, and one more thing I want to highlight is the uh, flexible compute power that you can do here. It is scalable according to your load. So you can configure the compute power according to your requirement, and it can scale up, scale down. And once, for example, now my workflow is completed, so it will basically automatically terminates my instances after you can see like my cluster is stopped now. So on demand it can come up, do the work, and then it can stop. So that is that those all the features I can say right now is available with the Databricks. Thank you for watching my POC.